a show started with just me and Jay filming. We asked these two students from Ryerson to film us as we just around in our living room, and that was literally it. That's all we did. And then I cut that together, like the footage that we got from that. I just cut it together, and it was so stupid. And for whatever reason, we thought we would buy a internet property and release it as though it was a big deal. And we thought the website nirvanathabandtheshow.com was so funny. We thought the idea was so funny, just that it was so audacious that we would do it. And we put out that one episode, which is so bad. Like, the beginning of our show is so terrible. It's so stupid. But we didn't have anything else to do. We had so much free time that we thought we would just keep making episodes. And because we didn't put any thought into it and we didn't plan any of it, we would shoot one episode and then try our best to scramble and edit it together and be like, okay, all right, well, that was okay. And then we'd shoot the second episode based on what we'd done in the first episode, and we did the whole thing again. And every single time we would just shoot random shit and then try our best to edit it together to make some kind of story. And because we never thought that there would be a third episode or a fourth episode or a fifth episode, it made everything so fresh. It was like, because it was all in our own time, we were making our own, ridiculous storylines, and we'd have to, if you've seen the show, it's so stupid. Like, the stuff that happens in it, and the only reason it is like that is because we were literally making it up off the top of our heads on the day of. Yeah, and it was a wild ride. We did it for 2 years, the same thing. The exact same system, where we'd just be like, let's just shoot something and see what happens, and then we'd cut it together and make a show.
And it was really successful for you.
Well, look at me now.
Well, what was the reaction like, though? And
initially, we had no reaction. We made the show, and we didn't hear anything from anybody for maybe close to a year, or 6 months anyway.
And in terms of the aftermath, you guys have had some attention in terms of press.
Yeah, we got attention. Like, once our show sort of became popular, who even knows how popular it really became? But there are articles about us in newspapers, and certainly young people seemed to respond to it. That if we met people who liked our show, normally they liked it a lot. Our show, it was something on the internet. I think you either really, really like it, or you've never heard of it before in your life. Because if you sort of sought it out and you watched all of it, then you'd have to like it a lot. But it's funny. We never really made any money. And we didn't none of our parents weren't proud of us. And those are the only two things that anybody really does anything for anyway. Money and the approval of your parents. And we got neither. We didn't get any.
Sure.
Yeah.
How much of this sort of came out of the need to do something that was really sort of creatively fulfilling for you guys? And
that's where it started.
And how you maybe you couldn't find a space for that within the system.
I wonder, see, if it was, we never thought for a second, we should ask for money to do this. Or, we should get somebody to help us do this. I think that was sort of the fun, and I think that's the only reason we were able to do it. I think if we'd stopped at the beginning and wrote the script for the first episode of Nirvana, the band, the show, and then tried to pitch that, we would still be doing that. And we would be so lame. Like, it was the kind of thing that we never thought we would even need to ask for money for. Even towards the end, after we've been doing it for a year and a half, never once did we have a conversation, even when there were tons of people involved in making it, and it was like a big machine, and we talked about it all day. We never thought about applying for a grant or asking an adult for money. I don't know why that was. I think there was always a consensus that, in fact, we never even exposed video when there were adults around. Now that I think of it. Adults around, and that was important. And we never asked adults for permission or money. We never asked adults for anything. Because we thought, in a very short-sighted and ignorant way, that adults would ruin the fun. And I don't know if that's true, but certainly we stuck to it, and we did really well under that philosophy. In fact, that's all we would say to one another before we get ready for a shoot or before we would start cutting. We would say, so long as there are no adults there.